Right, we're back again for another turn. We had one hell of a job trying to upload the last video to YouTube. I ended up having to delete it and start again and break it down into 3 parts. It just wouldn't upload. So, lesson learned, I'm going to keep the videos to shorter lengths and just multi-part them. Another thing that was pointed out in the battle was that 2 or 3 of the regiments, foot regiments, had actually moved and fired, which shouldn't have happened. So I'm going to have to use some different coloured markers, possibly white ones, to show when a unit's moved, because I just totally forgot. Fortunately, it didn't have much effect on the battle, so we got away with it on that occasion, but I'm going to have to get my act together and remember all these things. So again, I'll use markers to remind me that things have moved. So the generals have sent me their orders for the next term. It's parliamentary initiative. Ayrton's horse will hold. Oglesby's foot will fire on the lambs. The Whig battery will fire on the closest foot, which is going to be Rawdon's foot. The Westminster battery will also fire on the closest foot, which again is Rawdon's foot. General Bram is to hold his position, as are Balfour's horse. They're not moving, just staying in column. The Downing battery is to fire on the Bluecoats, or Rupert's horse if they're still in range. And Joseph's foot, who are in Hedgehog, are to fire on Rupert's horse. So as you can see, it's all hold and fire, so there's no actual movement to be done for parliamentarians. Now, if we switch to the Royalists, Rupert's horse are to move to the right of Joseph's foot, but close enough to keep them in Hedgehog. So with the new rules, that's 8 inches. 8 inches or less to keep them in Hedgehog. Fulston's Dragoons, now that they've got rid of Orkey's Dragoons, are to engage Joseph's foot, but they're just outside range. So what they're going to have to do is go back to where the horses are, mount up, and the next turn they will be able to ride and deploy into battle line to, if necessary, engage Joseph's foot if they're still there. So that will have to happen. The Bluecoats are to fire on the nearest target, which is going to be Joseph's foot. Rawdon's foot, again the closest target. Now their target's disappeared, so they can fire on those batteries. The Sandringham battery and the Windsor medium battery and the Queen's Light battery are both going to do counter battery fire on the 2 parliamentary cannon. The lambs will fire on, it was the cannons if possible, but not really. It's going to have to be on Oglesby's foot. And finally, Parker's heavy horse are going to advance, so they'll move forward their maximum range, which is 6 inches for heavies. So I'll do that movement and I'll come back to you. Alright, the movement's been done. So Rupert's horse have now swung round to the right of Joseph's foot, but they're at 8 inches, so they're keeping Joseph's foot in Hedgehog. Fulston's Dragoons have left the wood, remounted on their horses, one figure light because they took a casualty while they were in the woods. So they've formed up. Next move they can actually advance and then form battle lines. So Joseph's foot, if they're still there, could be in big problems. And over here, the only other movement is Parker's heavy horse, the Royalist heavy horse, has moved forward 6 inches and is now, apart from that wall blocking a little bit, getting close to Ayrton's mediums. So we can now have a look at the firing round. Oh, and I also remember to put the white buttons on to show units that had moved this time, which I forgot to do last time. Well, I didn't do last time because I simply forgot about it. So hopefully this time, but now none of the infantry have moved or the artillery. In fact, there's only the 2 regiments of cavalry there and the dragoons that have actually moved this turn, so it should be pretty straightforward. So, as it's Parliament's initiative, we'll start at this end of the table with Joseph's Foot, and as we're in hedgehog, they can fire in each 1 die in each of 4 directions. So we'll start with a shot against Rupert's horse. Because they're 8 inches, it's just a -2 on the die roll. So we'll see what they do. Oh, it's a 6. So that's reduced 2 off, that's 4. Half of 4 is 2 and half of 2 is 1. So it's 1, sounded real good at first, didn't it, with a 6, but it's 1 casualty. So Rupert's horse suffer 1 more casualty. Still doesn't take them to 50%, so they're okay at the moment. Now Joseph's Foot has another single die at the Bluecoats. That is at maximum range, so it'll be -3 also halved because they're behind cover. So we'll see how that goes. A 5. Take the 3 off, it's 2. And because of its cover, so it's a casualty, just 1 casualty. So the Bluecoats also suffer a casualty. We've now got the Downing Light Battery. They are at distance of 11 inches. So that means 11 inches, a 6 and a 5 will count as a hit. It's a 3, so it's a miss. And while I'm at it, I better put the fire markers on, haven't I? Otherwise I'll be getting confused again. So Joseph's Foot fired in that direction, and they've also fired in this direction. The Downing Light Battery fired and missed. No movement across there, or with the General himself. Now the Westminster Medium Battery are engaging Roden's Foot, and it is at 7 inches, so 7 inches for the medium battery is short range, but for the light artillery it actually puts it in medium range. So we'll start off with the Westminster Battery. 6, 5 and 4 is a hit. It's a 5, so it's a hit. We'll throw up the casualties, and they're reduced by half because they're in cover. 3, well, we'll reduce that to 2, so it's 1 casualty. So Roden's Foot, no it doesn't. We've got 3 reduced to 1, it's doubled with them because it's grapes, so it's actually 2 casualties. 2 casualties because they're firing grapes, I'll put that there. That, yeah, that's 1. Yeah, they're still okay, they're still not near 25% casualties yet. Now the Whig Light Battery, it has to be a 6 or a 5. It's a 5, so it's a hit. Throw for the casualties. 1. Well, it's a hit, so even though they've only thrown a 1, and you'd have to half it, a hit's a hit, so I'm going to remove 1 figure. because you can't throw 6 and not score, so I should change that to 3, so the no score lost 3 casualties there. So those 2 units have now fired, so we'll give them blue buttons, show they've fired. Over this spot, they're actually down to 4 musketeers, so they'll only get 1 die. And it's at maximum range, so it's a -3, but there's no cover. 2, so it's nothing. They don't manage to hit with that. So I'll put the blue button there to signify that they're fired. Erton's horse aren't doing anything. So that's the end of the parliamentary firing. 3. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 2 missing there, 3, and another 3, 6. That actually puts them in, because they've suffered 2 casualties there. Yeah, it will do. I won't put it there yet, but there will be, once we remove the casualties from this, there will be needing a red button at 25%. So now Rupert's horse, I can't do anything. They're just keeping them in hedgehog. Fulston's dragoons won't be moving, but now the blue coats can fire on Joseph's foot. It's at long range. They're still, apart from 1 figure missing, so they still get 4 dice. -3 from those dice, each of the dice. And the 1's no good. The 4 becomes a 2, the 5 a 3, and the 5 a 3, 6, so that's 8 casualties. So that's going to put 8 casualties on Joseph's foot. So we'll mark that with a 6 and a 2 when I find it. There we are, 6 and a 2. That's not going to do them a lot of good. Right, so that's them done. That's the blue coats fired. Give me buttons. Blue coats have now fired. Now the Sandringham Light Battery will be firing at the Downing Light Battery, and the range is just a foot, so 12 inches. So for the medium battery, light battery, that is 12, so it puts them in medium. So it's a -2 on the die to see. Well, first of all, let me see. A 6 and a 5 will be a hit. It's a 1, so it's a miss. So no problems there. So that's missed its target. So we'll put the other. Rodent's foot will also we'll choose that they'll fire on the medium battery. They are at 7 inches, which puts them in medium range. So we'll take just 2 die. No, sorry, 3 die. What is it? 1, 4, and the, oh no. No, yes, 3 dice, because the casualties that suffered amongst the musketeers, so I'll get 3 dice with a -2. So the 1's no good, the 3 becomes a 1, the 5 becomes a 3, that's 4 casualties. Right, so that actually will wipe out the gun crew, but the gun is still in place, so technically it can still fire. It's not been wiped out. So Rodent's foot have now fired. Now unfortunately for these batteries, parliamentary batteries, these babies have still got a fire. So the Windsor, which is at short range, the 6, 5 and a 4 will be a hit. Oh, it's a miss, so no problems there. and the Queen's Light Battery, which are at 7, so that's short range as well. Oh no, it's not, it's medium range, so 6 and a 5 count as a hit. A 6, so they've hit, and the casualties will be 2. So the weak light battery suffer 2 casualties. That only has a gun crew of 3, the light cannon, so they're pretty close. So that's them fired. So blue button for the Queen's Light Battery. Next Newcastle spot will be firing against Oglesby Foot at long range. They've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so they'll get 3 die with a -3 on each die. So the 1's no good, the 3's no good, the 5 becomes a 2, so they've caused 2 casualties on Oglesby's Foot. They've fired, so I'm going to find another blue button. So Newcastle's Foot, blue button. Right, I think, looking at all the blue buttons, everybody who can fire has now fired. So I'll take off the casualties and do the morale fortitude that's not easy to say, fortitude tests. I'll get back to you. Alright, that's the units removed from the bases for all the troops in action. Now we'll start off with Newcastle's Foot. They've got down to 25% casualties, so I need to roll a fortitude roll. It's a 4 at 25%, which means that it has no effect. That was the only royalist unit that needed to test. Now Joseph's Foot are at 50%, so we'll see what Joseph's Foot does. Joseph's Foot at 3, and at 50% that is that is rout from the table. Let me double check. 50% casualties. Yeah, 1, 2 or 3 rout from the field. So Joseph's Foot have gone. The Westminster Medium Battery. It's actually, I've only put one marker on there, but actually both of them are at 50%. So we'll see what happens to the Westminster first. A 6, it holds. For the Whig, a 1, so the Whig's gone. So I shall put that face down and that face down, so I know they've gone. So that's the Whig gone. Oglesby's Foot is at 50%. A 5 means he falls back a full move. So Oglesby's Foot will move back a full move. And that completes that. I'm pretty sure I haven't forgotten anything. So 2 more units disappear from the parliamentary side. It's still strong here. This line, although weakened a bit, still looks incredibly strong. And now we've got Folsom's Dragoons ready to come out. The 4 they were going to challenge is going to be gone. Still leaves a cannon there. And I think Balfour's Heavies are going to have to make a move at some point, because they've now got medium cavalry, okay, reduced, on its flank. Folsom's Dragoons here, who are going to be breaking out next turn. Yeah, it's certainly dodgy positions on. While I remember, I'll throw for initiative for the next turn. Red for Royalists, blue for Parliament. And it is a Royalist win this time. So 2-1, the Royalists will get initiative on the next turn. So gentlemen, if you can send me your orders for the next turn, what I'll do is I'll quickly remove these units and come back and show you the field and maybe take some measurements. Okay, so Oglesby's foot have retired a full move. The other battery is gone. The light battery is gone. As has Joseph Foot. That leaves that unit free on that flank. Things are not looking too hot at the moment for Parliament. After the initial good start, the Royalists managed to form up. This hedge has been a lifesaver of them with respect to casualties, but I think they're going to have to forego the hedge soon and get in among what's left. We'll have to wait and see what General Simpkins decides. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and join us again for the next part of the battle. Bye for now. Right, after watching the video, I realised that I'd missed out doing a fortitude test for Roden's Foot, so I'll quickly do that. They're at 25%. They've thrown a 4, so they'll hold their position. Right, that was the only thing I think I'd forgotten to do their fortitude test, so they've passed that. So everything else is as it was. Thanks for watching. Bye now.